Welcome to Dan ARG YouTube. Pahitro don't reveal more things about Nnamdi Kanu arrest for Kenya. It's now 8 days now Nnamdi Kanu spend for Kenya, and Kenyan people know what they do. Make I leave you, make you hear from Pahitro.
I'm sorry I didn't give you a notice that I'll be coming up on board because I never knew how the time will run to be. It's a very busy moment in Ravenna at this period. We live in a beachside, we live in a tourist center, and the time is very, very slow to us here. But to you guys, it's fast. When you look at the time, to me, it's just like 6 o'clock now because everywhere is booming outside, Going to bed is a little bit tedious when at this very period, Anyway, let's go back to the main issue. I came up the other day after emphasizing or explaining to you exactly how Nnamdi Kanu will be targeted by the Nigerian authority. Most of you thought I was not, I didn't mean what I was saying, or I don't know what I was saying. But I haven't said so. Now let's look at the legality of the arrest of Sunday and Kanu. We understood that anyway. This is not official government statement from the British, from the United Kingdom anyway. But I want to explain to you, because I told you before that the Able Day. I've told you guys before. Because the person in charge in Nigeria, in mind na back a day. Buhari mind, he no day here, he day back. Not the front or something like they see on our own self, but this man might day back. Now let's analyze it. We are told Kanu was arrested in Kenya. He was detained in Kenya, communicated with the Nigerian government, the DSS and the Secret Service in Nigeria. He was detained in Kenya at least a minimum of 7 days before the Nigerian government put their acts together. And there has to be paperwork and stuff like that, ticket, and because a lot of procedures have to take place before they move Kanu to Nigeria. This is a very clear information, okay? But the reason why I'm coming out this evening is to tell you the legality of Nigeria able to move Kanu from Kenya to Nigeria. They might be saying a lot of stupid rumors, but I think I'll hold the one that was told by his brother that he was arrested in Kenya, because the brother knows his movements better than anybody else. The second person that would have told her, if anybody have come up to contradict that statement, the only person I would believe outside his brother is the wife of Kanu, which up till now she has not come out and said, I counter that statement. I said it's a lie. So, Nigerian government, I know they have been collaborating with a lot of African countries and non-developed society, especially not from Europe there, not from Europe here anyway. The fact is that is Nigeria right moving Kanu from Kenya to Nigeria and placing him before the law court? People will say, no, he's a British citizen. Well, you see, my argument always move around the other side of the debates we only have in this place here. I'm not in that school of thought that believe that anything that the white man says is correct. Okay, I'm not going to argue with that. Nnamdi Kanu is a Nigerian by birth. He is a Nigerian by citizen also too. Okay, remember the statement Buhari made when he was first raid in a hotel lodge in Nigeria, that he said he came in with he didn't come in with a British passport. He came in not with his passport because in Nigeria they were having a legal right to detain him, and the British did not interfere on that issue. Okay, you see, anybody try to say, you see how the case is turning up to be, because two of my friends spoke to me two days ago and said, look, did you hear what is going on? Nothing is going on. These are lawyers. They can prove their cases beyond themselves. It depends on the judge who is in charge of the case. Without offending the Biafra or the IPOP group, I'm only trying to say the way it is. This is the law, whether you like it or not. Extradition has laws, international laws concerning extradition means that taking one person on the present situation, the present position he is, to his state of origin where he's being declared wanted. His place where he's being declared wanted, especially from the state of origin. Okay, that is moving a country where he is now, accepted to release him to the country that is being looked where he's been declared wanted on criminal charges for prosecutions and other crimes activities, no, that is related. The country must put forward the reason why they need this man in their country, and the country also will look into it and see if such reaction or such crimes, if committed in the country that man is residing at that very moment, that is worth going to jail for, or what prosecution, or what whatever, you know. But the second thing they look into is to see that if they don't have any crime that warrant death sentence in their country, and they ask the other country that needed this person in his own country, that this case, treason in Nigeria is death sentence. Okay, I'll tell you why Kenya are crying ostrich now, because they know the implications of what they did. But in another way around, the only person that will not suffer for this matter is Nigerian government. The Nigerian government has no question to answer anybody. Believe me honestly, with all due respect to the Biafras, okay? But I'm only saying the way it is. Nigeria is a sovereign nation, okay? If any of its citizens put a threat to the nation, I am not confirming that. I'm speaking for what the government said, okay? Right? This is not my opinion. This is just what the government said. They claim that Kanu is causing mayhem in Nigeria and promoting violence and has committed treason in Nigeria and in possessions of followers that he organized are in possession of sophisticated weapons which are illegal in the Nigerian system or law in Nigeria. Okay. Now, where did the Kenyans get their problem? When Nigeria never even knew that Kanu was in Kenya, although information was passed to neighboring South African countries to take watch of this guy. Okay, when the Kenyan noticed Kanu arrived in Kenya, he was immediately detained, and they tried to communicate with the Nigerian government. The local, but this guy, the Nigerian government, they have to put their ass together and start searching for laws and regulations on how to extradite him to Nigeria in a legal frame that will not be a problem to them. You understand? Now, the problem now is that it's not bringing Kanu to Nigeria is a problem. Let everybody not be confused about that. And I say it, I quote it tomorrow, next tomorrow. Let them take it to ICC court in Holland. Wherever they take it to, Nigeria has no case to answer to anybody. Okay? Because we forgot story very easily in Nigeria. This was the same Nigeria where we were condemning the government that they couldn't do anything to Ibori. Remember vividly that Ibori was a citizen of Nigeria. I'm not convinced that Ibori have a British passport. But if he has, I don't know. The last time I saw Ibori was many, many years ago when he was in Uniben. Normally comes to sleep very close to us in Usulu, that Usulu market that time, with one of my uncle. Not my uncle, my senior friend that time. Okay. So I don't know. I know Ibori went to UK. I know he worked there. He stayed there for some time before he was having problems came back to Nigeria. I don't know whether he has a British passport. I'm only going to give you this example for you to understand the scope of this argument, or the scope of the whole issues, how it plays out, wherever they take it to. Okay, whatever that is decided on earth is also accepted in heaven. It is always like that. So when a judge plays fair role in any issues he's doing, even in a local government magistrate court, carry the case to High Court, Supreme Court, whatever appeal court, the case remains the same. It's only when you are biased that is where they kick against you somewhere in some other areas. Now let me go back to the Ibori issue. Ibori flew to Saudi Arabia or Dubai, I remember that time. And the British has a bilateral agreement with the Dubai people that anybody they declare wanted has to be extradited or given to them in UK. Ibori was a Nigerian citizen, and the British moved him straight to face law court in UK. So what gives them audacity to say that the Nigerian government has no right to anyway, they're talking to Kenya government, as I said before. They don't have no legal rights. Good evening, my sister. They have no legal rights. Nigeria has no question. Even Nigeria can even decide not to answer anybody's question because they're taking what they want, they've got it. But I am not happy about how they got it. Anyway, I still remain, but I'm only saying things how it means by law. Okay. You don't need to be a professor of law to understand this, the laws of extraditions in international laws concerning extradition. You understand? So, but nations that extradite, that nation that accept to extradite a citizen of another citizen because of his crime, to prosecute him or to face law in any country there, are a little bit have to be very, very cautious about what they're doing, right? But when the country it has a bilateral agreement with the other country that requested this citizen from that country, it becomes so impediment for him to refuse. It becomes obligatory for him to obey the rules and regulations of the agreement, which Obaseki call memo. You understand? So, MOU, they call it, you understand? Memorandum of Agreement, you understand? So, Nigerian government has no question, there has no answer, there has no question to answer any law court in the world, international level, no. But Kenyans are playing hostage. They know the facts. Nnamdi Kanu did not stay one day in Kenya. He spent 8 days in Kenya. The reason why he spent 8 days in Kenya was because the Nigerian government was looking for one way or the other to see and pass out papers to prove it legal on the extradition for Kanu from Kenya to Nigeria. Well, kudos to the Nigerian government. Kudos to them for even presenting him today in the court. Kudos for them for even allowing us to know that this man is in our custody. They can decide to extradite this guy and put him in one Kuje prison. No noise, nobody. He will be declared wanted. They will only say he went to Kenya. Before he reached to the parliament of the British Kingdom, it will take about 2 years. Because a single man like that, before they start requesting, is a very big problem. Now, why do I say the British has no right to request from Nnamdi Kanu? Because Nnamdi Kanu has dual-ship citizen. This is the disadvantage of to have 2 different passports. In Italy, they accepted dual citizenship. In Germany, no. In some other countries that I don't know much about, I don't have those countries' passports. But I know that in America, I think it's also accepted to have dual citizenship. In UK, it's also accepted. Okay. When that person is found or is present in the territory of his ancestor, the country of his origin has legal power to do anything, whatever, with that person. The reason why Nigerians never went, they tried in Britain, they failed, and they couldn't do anything in Britain was because he has a British passport and he was residing on the British territory at that time. So you can move my citizen in my own territory. I give you an instance. Okay. If anything happens in Nigeria today, a war broke out in Nigeria, I pray war not to come to Nigeria today. Those who will be free, who will be taken or flew out of that country immediately by foreigners are the Nigerians who have German passports. Because those who have German passport don't have a Nigerian passport any longer. They take visas to go to Nigeria. They used to have. It was changed. Okay. So what am I trying to say is that, but what I fear now is that why is Kenya government denying that they don't know that Nnamdi Kanu or they were not involved in Nnamdi Kanu detention or arrest or collaboration or how they brought him to Nigeria. Yeah. You see why I'm so shocked about this whole situation is very, very simple. My shock is that let's assume Nigerian government has done a very nice job. Their intelligence worked very well. They did their detective work very well. So Nigeria can be able to fish out those who they want to fish out. Are they selecting those who they want to arrest or who they want to keep quiet? So somebody was in UK. The Nigerian government, let's assume Kenya did not know anything. No. Nigerian government was able to maneuver and find out that he has flew to Kenya or they study his moving from one place to another. And that dwarf in Kaduna said he's very, very happy that he has been brought to book. He should go and stay in the zoo with the animals there. My brother, you see, when they call Nigeria a zoo, it is not all Nigerians that live in the zoo. It is we, the poor people, that live in the zoo. You, Erufai, you don't live in the zoo. You live in a comfort home. I dare you to publish us now to us. Show us now, recently now, that boy, that your son, that you took to public school that time and published it out in the newspaper, and it was in Channel News, where that boy is still in the public school tomorrow. In Kaduna, as you claim. We know what in day. When are we done? So, why has Nigeria not been able to detect bandits, Boko Haram leaders for 4 years? Irabona, who is not the chief of staff, the army staff, I don't know what they gave to him, told us that it's a very difficult task. That Sabisa Forest is very wide and large. Is it bigger than California in the United States? One of the 52 states in America? Oh, so much shit. So sometimes when I look at Nigeria, sometimes I get confused. I say, God, why do I not have patience to be a professor in Nigeria if I come to abroad? Because my weight is not pulling so fast now because I live in Italy. I don't live in the US or live in the UK. And I didn't obtain a very good standard of education before I left to Nigeria. Okay. But though I know that I'm okay. Very intelligent, I know that. Okay. I was impatient. Believe me honestly. The anxiety and the curiosity in us move us out of Nigeria on time. Okay. Because I don't understand the reason why a nation like Nigeria, 3 days ago, we were told the Bogori house of Sonny, this man that is fighting for Yoruba succession of the Yoruba people, Duduwa people, you understand? He was not around a Bagbo, they call him a B. Please, somebody should help me pronounce good evening, my sister. Pronounce his name was Sonny. What do they call this man? A Bagbo, they call this guy. I don't really know how to pronounce that. That means it's very difficult Yoruba language, you understand? Busted his house. Before they entered the house, the telecameras which was in the house was totally destroyed. And they destroyed. What has the car got to do with an arrest? I don't know why the police or the army don't be professional when they are doing anything concerning it. They go there because of the poor salary they receive. They go there because of the angriness they have of the situation the government, their orga kept them. Okay, Jude Okunwa said the Kenya government denies because it was wrong for them to extradite Nnamdi Kanu because he was holding a British passport. Correct. I've told you before that is the Kenya people are denying it because they know they are wrong. But the Nigerian government has every right to pick Kanu anywhere in the world because Kanu has dual citizen. Okay, for Nigerian government they have right to pick him. If they're able to chance to pick him in UK, they can pick him. If they can able to pick him illegally from America, they can pick him because he's our citizen. Okay, but for Kenya, they are denying it because it is wrong. But let us be very, very, very careful about this issue. There was one man in Italy, I've forgotten his name now. He has been latitante, means that a fugitive in Italy for the past 35 or 33 years. They were the one we call them Brigadier Rossi. Let me find out if I can get you the information very well here. This man ran away. He was living in France for the past 12 years. The Italian government have been fighting, battling. Because knowing that Italy was the only nation, I'm going back to this issue of Kanu. Italy was the only nation that operates isolated prison in the Western world for mafia, 24 Bs, we call it. If you are a strong mafia or you did a very bad execution against human beings, they keep you in isolation for sometimes for 4 years. You will see no sun. You don't go out. You just bath, you go in there again, you give you food, you take it back again, like that. Sometimes for 6, 8, or even 1 year. Okay. Months or years, you understand? So when the French government has used all the legal battle against Italy for 12 years, when Italy was going to win the battle for extradition, the French government allowed this man to run away from France. He went to Brazil. When he went to Brazil, what was this man name? Brigadier Rosso. Italian Brigadier Rosso. So, just 2 minutes, please. Just coming, please. Let me just quick find out this man's name. It's very important. Okay. Okay. So, what am I trying to say is that most of these people you are seeing in the world, those who committed crime and they run to other countries like that. So the Brazilian government at that time was a very hard communist who was very close to Cuba, Fidel Castro, and was very close to this guy that died in what's his name? I've forgotten the name now. Who died of cancer? Anyway, So he refused to extradite this guy to Italy. When they did the election, that guy, before the election, that guy left the power. The one was in power. They was into crime issues and illegalities and corruption issues. They called for a fresh election in Brazil. The man that the Westerners were supporting for capitalism there won the election. And that one campaigned that whenever he won the election, he would release this guy to Italian government. That is what he did. He released the guy to the Italian government. Because that guy has no other passport. He was having Italian passport. And Italy requested for their citizen anytime, any day, anywhere. Okay, so let nobody confuse you about. But I want to let Kenya know today that the British can do such thing and nothing will happen every day. The Germans can do this thing, nothing will happen every day. French can do it every day. America can do it every day. Russia can do it every day. Okay, so these are things that we need to be very cautious about. When I came up that day, I said I supported the ban of Twitter in Nigeria. People will say, hey, no. I don't look at statements. Sorry, I don't look at individuals. I look at statements. I look at facts. But it might be very bad to you guys now. But if you want to dig into the very main issues now, the only negative part of Buhari today was he was unable to resolve the issue of insecurity in Nigeria. And the fact is that what causes insecurity in Nigeria is poor economic situation in Nigeria. Okay, and what led to this poor economic condition in Nigeria is the fall of the oil price in Nigeria. Little was done during Goodluck Jonathan. They have not started manifesting. Jonathan started talking about agriculture when it was almost 2 years to go in his 2 years, no more than 6 months or 8 months to go from his first tenure. Let me use the second tenure because he did almost 2 years, 6 months in that one. You understand? So those things never manifested. Go click the train issues that was done during Goodluck. They were using chair to climb train. Don't quote me wrong. Hold on. I don't say things that I don't know. Believe me honestly, I'm not giving him kudos. But Buhari, to me, with the little we have, has tried a little bit. But I hate him because of nepotism and lack of resolving the issue of security in Nigeria. It was praying. Because sometimes we don't know during 2 minutes, please. So there are many things we're supposed to know that never existed in Nigeria at that time. But many of us, we all echo. Look at it. I don't rake. Hold on. Wait first. 2 minutes, please. I need to let you know the kind of train Goodluck bought from Brazil. They went to go and bought train, used train in Brazil at that time. This is a fact. I don't say things that I don't know. Open up my hold on. Open up. Let me see. But this thing will open. Echo. Let me see. Look at it, Nigeria. This is the train Goodluck launched in Nigeria. See, if I'm lying, quote me wrong. Okay. This was the train. Okay. Okay. Not really. This was just about 6 years ago, 7 years ago, Yabi. I say things that I know. But I'm coming back to that kind of issue. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see the different. Let's see the different. You look at this train. See this train? This is what we use now. In 6 years different. Okay? Hold on. Never finish, eh? Okay, when I want to say a lie, see Goodluck, they come for the train. See the train Goodluck do. See him. PDP for us. You see him? You see him? He even get step. Nigeria, we I don't fit talk. You understand? So if I'm talking, I know what I'm saying. When I say train in Nigeria today, I know what I'm saying. Because most of these trains, images, okay. These are the trains that I show you now. You can see the difference between these two trains, you understand me? Now let's go back to that issue. The bus this guy has the other day, my problem is that okay, say let's be very, very frank to ourselves, you understand? So what am I trying to bring in this issue is that the way Nigeria is going, I never knew Nigeria has a strong intelligence like this, that they can be able to fish at anybody, anywhere, any place, anywhere in the world, you know. My problem is that that's in the politics that have made me to hate Buhari. It is what is still going on today now. How many of these Boko Haram people have they sentenced to life imprisonment? Have they prosecuted, or have we seen in a newspaper that this man was sentenced to death? Somebody who takes arms against the nation will be arrested and will be put on rehabilitation center to come into society again. And somebody who said he wants his own people to be liberated from the Fulani's hand. Then the other one says they want to have their Aduduwa Republic. As I always say before, teeth when they chop, na inside body day. We kept quiet in the Bended or the Midwestern region. I continue saying it. For those of you who are very young, the only legal region created by Constitution is the Midwestern region. The rest were being the maneuver things because of the population. So I urge the Nigerian government to tread with caution on this issue, because we are sitting on a keg of bomb. I've always been saying it in my program. I give you another credit. Now, it's two options. Nigeria is like a nation, or it's like somebody who is in the middle of a river, that the soap is in his face and he cries that he can't see. Because it's just like, according to what Bob Marley said, that in abundance of water, the food is still tasty. That is our nation. I repeat myself, I'm not running from what I said. Nigerian government will not succumb to release Kanu to anybody because of threat or anybody. This is the person that is living now with us as the president is not pure human. It's a double human being. You know what I mean? Oh my God, you know. If you are not a Benin person, ask a Benin man to translate to you. On one kind, in mind, he did back. You understand? For those of you who were not born, in 1986, he did the same thing when he attempted to kidnap Omar Odiko into a carton by the Israelis investigators. And they caught them in the airport, and the British impounded the Nigerian Airways, who was to bring Omar Odiko back to Nigeria. Which is legal. Is legal to do. You know what this man did? He went straight and impounded all the British Caledonians that landed in Benin in Nigeria that very day. Buhari never released those planes until British released our plane in UK. After that episode, we started using visa to go to UK. You understand? These are facts. Check it out. If you don't know, ask your parents. Okay? So, but I want to give advice to Nigerians. I've always been saying it. I've never seen any nation that have settled cases, have settled disputes, that have resolved issues by war. Never. Give me one. The only persons that believe that they can resolve issues by war was Israel. And to today, they are still at war. Have they resolved the issue? No. So any conflict, any war, any misunderstanding must not be resolved by the barrel of a gun, by a knife, by a cutlass, by axe. It's only through a round conference table with mats, peaceful wells that can resolve issues. So Nigerians, I'm joining the elite Nigerians to appeal to the government to use caution. Okay, but having said so, I'm highly disappointed. I'm really disappointed. You see, I tell you that every day or Ibono will come, nothing will happen. I've not even seen a reasonable protest. A whole mercy, not the Kanu, high pop leader. All the lion and the tiger, they become rats inside bamboo. Nobody. Even NSAS, and that was not even serious as this case, were able to gather up to about 8 or 18,000 protesters. It circulated around the whole country. How come no one single state in the East were able to at least do a meaningful protest? I don't support violence. Sunny now in Ibadan, all Yorubas are quiet. Monile, they are quiet. Ajegula Ibo, they are quiet. Ajota people, they are quiet. Oshobo people, they are quiet. Ogun, quiet. Akure, quiet. Biokuta, quiet. That's to tell you that this man crushed his own fellow Muslim. Exactly, you remember, kill his children, kill 365 persons for that place there. Give the mass burial. Ibo Mari. The only language a military pretended democratic society government understand is a large numbers of protests, not few people. You understand? I get what I'm saying. So if anybody thinks that Buhari will change his mind tomorrow, forget it. That man is close to 80-something years of age. That is not the age you are hearing. He's close to grief. He can do anything. Don't forget that Buhari divorced his first wife. We don't know this man. Oh. He divorced his first wife because he accepted help from Babangida. Because Babangida was the one that overthrew Buhari. Divorced that woman and married Aisha. Did you say Aisha now today? Now when first wife be that. Go read your history. That man now back in my day. So once more, give fellow Nigerians. If Nigerian government can be able to do what they did now to Nnamdi Kanu and Sonny for Yoruba land, then they should be able to fish out the bad bandits in Nigeria and the Boko Haram in Nigeria within now and July end. Okay? Because the fact is that we are not like animal. Because the Bible says that we have the donkey race, we have the lion race, we have the dog race, we have the human race. And we have the rat race. Nigerians is into rat race. Because rat, mice, when you make boom, you go like if you say boom, they don't have straight directions they run to. We're supposed to be running the human race. Where things happen in progress. Development happen in progress. Okay, technology, everything at all, awareness, all move in progress. Forward ever. Backward never. I don't intend to start shouting or accusing anybody today. But my message is very, very clear. But I see Nigeria negotiating with the Nnamdi Kanu. If the Westerners can be able to put more effort on it, but not to release him. Forget that one. But will release to anybody. Even America carry bomb, come missile, blow for us all up, but will release Nnamdi Kanu. It is easier for Sonny, for Yoruba land to come out than Nnamdi Kanu to come out. Because Sonny Babura, I don't want to give me the name before. You understand me? This one said, let me read this guy. British, he say, okay, let me read. Sorry, please, let me just read this comment. It's very important because he has a long comment. He say, it won't be easy for British in the first place to extradite Nnamdi Kanu to Nigeria. Why? If the British Court of Law see beyond that, if Nnamdi Kanu may not have fair justice in the country of origin, the judge may withhold the tradition of the said person. Well, you are correct, my brother, but in another way around, as far as the British citizens, they won't do that. Irrespective of whatever, they won't do it. Like they will try it in their country. Let me give you an instance. I don't know what most of you know what they call this ice train, the one that always move with chain, very far up. They used to go to mountain in the ice area, you know. I will answer you, Osaro APC. I will answer you. There was a time many years ago. This should be around 15-16 years ago in Italy. We have a base in Vicenza here, the American base, AFI base in Vicenza here. They were doing routine exercise, and the plane went and cut the wire. 18 persons come down, they all died instantly. That pilot was not prosecuted in Italy because he was operating on an American base, which is a territory of America, So he was tried in the US. They know what we know what they know. That man was not tried in Italy after killing 18 persons. He was sentenced to 24 years imprisonment in Britain and in US. Of recent, during Donald Trump, they were pardoned. Nothing happened. Able marry. So I repeat again, nobody is bigger than the nation. I am not saying what the Nigerian government is doing is good, but I wanted to treat with caution. They can negotiate with Kanu and reach a compromise with everybody. And let equity exist in Nigeria. Let equality exist in Nigeria. I've said before, Wazobia is dead and arrival. That name Wazobia must be cancelled in Nigerian history, must be deleted from Nigerian brain. We are Nigerians. Whether you are 3 million, your ethnicity is 3 million, does not really matters. If they said you are not valuable in the nation because you are 3 million, then you carve out, let them give you freedom and declare yourself a republic and see whether you cannot exist. If Austria can exist, if Finland can exist, they are even greater than Nigeria. So this time around, it's not the population. It is how well, how far. Carol. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, I won't stay too long. I have decided to speak on this issue today because I told you guys how Nnamdi Kanu will end up. But the other fear now is that if the Western has sanctioned Nigerian government so much, they might make Nnamdi Kanu not to remember what is called Biafra again. By injecting him little by little, he misses his senses. I see that as a second plan B for Nigerians, for Nigerian government. So let's go on. Bros, which school you go? Sarah APC. Thank you very much, Sarah APC. No. Sometimes you can educate yourself without going to school. Believe me honestly. When I was in school, I was not so good like this. Believe me honestly. Because I was very stubborn in school. Very, very stubborn. You sure I hardly stayed in the class. I was managing to pass my classes, because it is when it's few weeks to the exam I normally sit down in the class and start studying and start rushing things over like that, So I was very stubborn. You see, this is the reason why I don't like a broken home or don't like a single mothers bringing all kids up, especially in Africa. I've always been saying it in my previous video that I grew up by His grace. Not to be a robber, not to be killed when I was young, not to be frustrated when I was young, But God's guidance and my intelligence led me to the right path, and thank God I'm here today. Thank you very much once again, Sarah, But sometimes too, I want to advise you one thing. It doesn't really mean you have to be seated in front of a man that is teaching you. You can do research yourself, you can study yourself, I'm very curious. You don't tell me anything without me not knowing why you tell me, why I need to know, the reason why I have to know, the meaning. I get to know everything. Okay. My small baby is just the same character with me. Everybody knows, even in school. They call it troppo curioso. In Italian language, they say troppo curioso. That is somebody who is very, very curious in anything at all. Thank you once again for the compliment you give to me. So, as I said before, the government has not come out officially to declare that whatever is going on. It is the lawyer of Nnamdi Kanu that has accused Kenya of collaborating with the Nigerian government. And I said also too, the picture I saw in Kanu, Kanu as a man that I saw that very day, that was not Kanu. Either he was drugged, or he was beaten mercilessly, or he was starving. Kanu could even raise his face. He's a very arrogant activist and very outspoken. And he hardly bent down for anybody. But he was weak and so sorrowful. So I believe he was indebted. As I tell you guys before from the beginning, that if Nigerian government taken to prison, if the pressure in the international community goes too far that he might not be sentenced to death, Kanu will be injected slowly. When he comes out of prison, if the next government pardon him, he will not even remember what is the meaning of Biafra or IPOP any longer. This is the gospel truth. Go and mark what I said to you today again now. Except he agreed in negotiation with the federal government on peace to reign in the East, then he will desist from saying things about Biafra for now. That's the only way Kanu can be released, and that's the only way he can be trusted. That's the only way that he could have regained his how do I call it, his presence with his family. So it's late, my Nigerian people. Tomorrow, don't forget. Although I'll be very busy tomorrow, but if I cannot do it tomorrow, I'll do it on Monday. On Monday, I'm going to be doing night, so I have time. I have a very vital information for those of you who live in Italy here. For those of you who live in Italy here who work under agency. There are many advantages you need to know. Many advantages you need to know. Many things you need to get to know when you work with the agency intermediary. I'll talk about that on Monday. It's a topic dedicated. I'll give you contact, I'll give you information, I'll tell you where to go. I'll tell you exactly what is your right, what you need to have, the benefit you need to get just working with the agency alone. So Monday, I pray no other big news come after this before that time. But let me not forget to thank those of you who spoke to me, who wrote to me, who advised me not to start replying fugitives, low referrals on my wall, and those who don't even know their left or right. That it makes me go to their level too. So I appreciate your advice, and that's the reason why I didn't come up again to talk about that guy again in UK. It's not because I'm afraid, but whenever he comes anytime, any day, I'm always ready for his problem. But meanwhile, I will not reply those referrals any longer again. So let's talk business. On Monday, I will be passing you informations if you work with the Agencia, whether you live in Ravenna, or you live in Forlì, you live in Cesena, you live in Bologna, Roma, wherever you live in Italy. But I don't know the international laws regarding that issues. So I don't know whether it exists in Germany, whether it exists in Belgium, what about in Italy. I know that I'm going to give you vital information that will relieve you of your financial burden. Okay, till Monday. See you guys, and remain blessed and happy weekend. I wish you all the best, and please don't forget me your prayers in the church tomorrow. God bless you all.
Now we don't hear from Pahitro, let us know what you think for comment section. If you never subscribe to Dan ARG YouTube, try make you subscribe so that make you for the hear all the things wey dey happen for Nigeria. Make I leave you now with this video, make you help us share am. Thank you for watching Dan ARG YouTube.